And I realized how important the mind was when I doing my PhD in Norway. At that time, I was a little bit stressed. And I feel like I could not think about many things. I could not do my dissertation. I was sitting in front of computer, Googling, and cannot think about many different things for days, for months. So I decided to do something with my own software, the mind. I didn't know how to meditate, so I tried to learn meditation for the first time. When I meditated for the first time, I thought it was impossible because I had so many different thoughts in my mind and my mind was spinning like crazy. At that moment, I learned that in order to meditate, you just need to find a balance, and that's how I unlocked the meditation for the first time. I could really make I feel really relaxed and feel really happy. So when I finished my PhD study, I decided to study a bit more about meditation. I ordained as a Buddhist monk, and it's not very easy because monk life is not very easy as I thought. I struggle a lot, but also enjoy the time that I have for myself, and ever since I travel to different places and share with people. And people suffer the same way that I did. They could not meditate when they close their eyes, so I gave them some tips and I told them that you just have to relax a bit more, and they could meditate. And they've been traveling to different countries, in total 52 countries so far in 10 years, to share about meditation, about how they could meditate in an easy way, how they could remove stress from the mind and be a bit more happier. And many people can do that when they close their eyes. Every time when I see they open their eyes, I could see big smile on their faces, and that made me feel happy. And maybe that's the reasons I continue being a monk who I am today. So if many people around the world in different countries, different religions, different nationality can meditate, maybe you can do it too. So why don't you follow my program and we learn together, and I share with you how meditation can be very easy. You just need to learn some tips and you can unlock the myth of the mind. So you change your mind, you change your whole world. Let's stay together. Hello, my name is Phra Paramait Nisaro. I'm a Theravada Buddhist monk, but it doesn't mean that I was a monk ever since the first day that I was born to the world. Before that, I was like every one of you watching this video. So, I studied computer. I was a computer geek. I really like computer, hardware, software. I really learned how to do programming. I studied computer for 10 years in my bachelor, master, and PhD. But one thing that I realized is, even though many people know about many different knowledge in their life, but they don't know about what is considered the software of human being, the mind. And I realized how important the mind was when I doing my PhD in Norway. At that time, I was a little bit stressed. And I feel like I could not think about many things. I could not do my dissertation. I was sitting in front of computer, Googling, and cannot think about many different things for days, for months. So I decided to do something with my own software, the mind. I didn't know how to meditate, so I tried to learn meditation for the first time. When I meditated for the first time, I thought it was impossible because I had so many different thoughts in my mind and my mind was spinning like crazy. At that moment, I learned that in order to meditate, you just need to find a balance, and that's how I unlocked the meditation for the first time. I could really make I feel really relaxed and feel really happy. So when I finished my PhD study, I decided to study a bit more about meditation. I ordained as a Buddhist monk, and it's not very easy because monk life is not very easy as I thought. I struggle a lot, but also enjoy the time that I have for myself, and ever since I travel to different places and share with people. And people suffer the same way that I did. They could not meditate when they close their eyes, so I gave them some tips and I told them that you just have to relax a bit more, and they could meditate. And they've been traveling to different countries, in total 52 countries so far in 10 years, to share about meditation, about how they could meditate in an easy way, how they could remove stress from the mind and be a bit more happier. And many people can do that when they close their eyes. Every time when I see they open their eyes, I could see big smile on their faces, and that made me feel happy. And maybe that's the reasons I continue being amongst who I am today. So if many people around the world in different countries, different religions, different nationality can meditate, maybe you can do it too. So why don't you follow my program and we learn together, and I share with you how meditation can be very easy. You just need to learn some tips and you can unlock the myth of the mind. So you change your mind, you change your whole world. Let's stay together. Hello everyone, my name is Monk John Paramai Thanissaro. I'm a Theravada Buddhist monk, and today I'm very glad to be with all of you in our live session. I'm going to talk about some tips to improve relationship. Relationship in this sense doesn't mean only man to woman relationship, but it could be generally for making connection with anyone in the society. You have connection with different groups of people. For example, we have connection with our parents, we have connection with our friends, we have connection with our colleagues and other people as well in society. Usually, one of the problems that we have to carry in our life is because of the problems from the poor connection that we have. So today I'm going to talk about how we can do something very easy in order to improve those connections. So before we begin, I would like you to share with me where you are from. You can click like to the video, you can share the video so other people can have a chance to watch the videos as well. And you can type in the comment box where you're from, which country you're from, which continent you're from. And you can also share your questions. For example, I talk about some topics that you didn't understand. You can also write your questions and I will have a chance as well to answer those questions. So, my name is Monk John, and today I'm your host. I'm going to talk about very simple way to improve our relationships. First of all, when we talk about relationship, we talk about the time that we spend together with some people, right? And these people can again become our parents, they are our friends, our colleagues, people that we spend most of the time with. We don't talk about a group of people that we do not spend most of our time with. For example, people who we find on the street and maybe we meet them once in a while. Of course, there are also tips to make a better connection with them as well. But today we will focus on the group of people that we usually share most of our time with. When we talk about the connection of the people that we share most of our time with, we will use the law of attraction to explain. Normally, people attract each other based on their interests, because eventually, we human beings, we need to live together. Even though you might be in a very far away place. For example, you have a vacation in a very beautiful place far away. You may have one day a feeling that you like those that are close to you to be with you, or you like to share how happy you are to them as well, right? You need to switch on your computer, write to them, and tell them how beautiful your moment is. This is normally happening because we human beings, we need to have connection with other people. However, based on the law of attraction, we also need to understand that people also want to receive something from the connection. Not only us that want to receive something. If you want to have an improved relationship, a good relationship, remember one simple tip. You have to share first. If you never share anything to anyone, people will not love that. I'm sorry to say that. It doesn't mean that people are expecting something from us. But think about ourselves. Why do we need a relationship, a connection then? Because we want to receive something from them. We want to receive some love. We want to receive some care. We want to receive some help. So based on what we want from other people, we need to share with them first. Usually a relationship that is poor or that is not going very well is because we forget about this simple principle, sharing first. We try to get from other people first before we share with them. But if we change to the other way, we share with them first, it is going to help improve relationship for sure. Because usually people like when other people share with them first, right? So what do we really need to share with people? Let me share with you 4 things. And these 4 things are: first, we share with them resources. And when I mean resources, it could range from something simple like food, time, money, or even your smile. So these are resources you can share with other people. And the second, we can share with people as well encouragement. Because usually people, they have the world, but this world can be seen from different perspectives. From our perspective, from their perspective. Sometimes we don't know what problems other people were facing. They are facing their own journey. They are facing their own challenges as well, not only us. When we are in trouble, we also want other people to give us some encouragement. Like if you're feeling pretty bad today, if anyone will come to you and say, hey, it's okay, the problem you're facing is not really a big deal. Just be smiling, you meditate a lot, and eventually you'll be fine. I've been in your shoes before. If someone will tell us this, we might feel much better. As a result, we also need to share with people encouragement sometimes, because usually people are facing their own battles as well. And the third thing, we need to be helpful to others. Not only we share encouragement with them. We can keep saying to people, you'll be fine, you'll be okay, I've been through this before, I'm supporting you, I'm rooting for you. But if you don't actually help them, they're going to face sometimes that personal battle forever. Just some simple thing that we can help people so that they can solve their own difficulties, they can solve their problems. That will be something that they need, that they look for. And the last thing is about sharing consistency. It means that everything you've been saying until now, if you didn't actually be consistent of how you behave, maybe one day you were so good, The other day you are not very much. You change, you keep changing. You have multiple versions. We don't like that people, right? Think about yourself. If one day, your boss is so nice, you might feel like, oh, today I know how to approach my boss. I can talk with him or her better. But the other day, if he changes or she changes into another person completely, then you don't actually know how to deal with him or her anymore. If you have to face with that inconsistency, other people will not like the way we behave inconsistently as well. So these 4 things are what I consider cornerstones for better relationship. Not only relationship that we have man and women or husband and wife, because usually when we talk about the word relationship, it usually refers to that. But this refers to relationship that we have with anyone in our life. And I have some story for you just about today. For example, sharing resources. I have a story of a farmer family. 2 farmer families. They are brothers. So the big brother and the small brother, the younger brother, they actually do farming. They grow rice and they were very, very nice to each other. One rainy season, usually farmers will depend on the rain. Without the rain, they can't grow the rice. One rainy season, the big brother talked to his wife that he liked to share more rice to his brother. And the wife asks, why do you share? Your brother is in trouble or your brother asked for it? The big brother said, no, he didn't ask for it. But he has bigger family. He has one wife and few children. So if I share with him, he will be able to use more benefit from the rice. And these days, things are getting tougher. We have less rain and the economics is not very good. So I like to share with him some support so that he could cope with the situation better. Let's think of this situation. These days, we can argue that everyone in the world is facing worse situation than last year. Well, maybe we talk about 2016. Maybe we talk about even 10 years ago. Those times when economics was better, there was not many things that we have to think many times before we share with someone, right? But these days, we have some excuses in our mind that we are also facing difficulties as well. Why we should share with others? The farmer could possibly think about the same thing, but he didn't. Instead, he felt like, well, he is in trouble, but even if he shares something, his trouble is not going to be worse, but it might actually help others that he loves, his brother, for example. But whenever he shared, every time, because he felt like if he give the rice to his brother directly, the brother might not accept it because the brother knows as well that he's also in a little trouble. So he would sneak in the middle of the night to get some rice, some bags, big bags, in order to go to his brother's house and leave the ripe bags in front of the house. So the brother will come across and will get the rice in the morning without knowing that whom does the rice come from. But when he returned home, he found out that somehow the number of bags that are in his house is still full. So he didn't actually have one backlash at all. So he was a little bit amazed. He went to ask his wife, what happened? The wife said, no, I didn't know anything. Maybe some celestial beings, some angels give the rice back to us. So one night he was trying to do the same thing. But instead he found that someone was sneaking into his house. So he waited. Maybe that angel the wife was talking about is coming. So he waited and he saw someone. Eventually, that someone you could possibly guess, right? That someone is his own brother. So his brother was thinking about the same thing. That, oh, big brother, he's getting older. He's 10 years older than me. And if he has to work a lot, his back is not going to be good, because for the farmers, usually the spine, the back hurts a lot. So the brother wanted to do the same thing to his big brother. And because of that, they feel even more love in their family. Think about this. If those brothers never share anything to each other, of course, they struggle. But instead, they just continue their own battle with poverty, with economics. Then they never actually feel anything positive at all. Everything seems negative. But once they keep sharing to each other, the big brother shares rice to younger brother, at least they could feel love, they could feel relief, and they could feel peace. That no matter how hard battle they're facing, there's always someone besides them. So these big lessons tell us that everything that we do that generate positive energy to others is going to return us some positive energy back as well. That's the law of attraction. This is the first story that I'd like to share with you, but there are more. The second story, you don't actually need to only share resources. Sometimes it could be something very simple. This is a story of a pharmaceutical company that produces medicines. There's a big fridge to store medicines. There's a manager that takes care of the stock of the medicine. And this manager has to go into the big fridge just to make sure that everything is in order. One day, he stayed there very late. But once he was trying to get out of the big fridge, he found out that the fridge was locked. And he didn't have the key. He didn't know how to get out of the fridge. Don't ask me how, because this is just a story that I pick up. Somehow, he felt very discouraged. He felt that if no one will appear and open the door, maybe that night he could possibly pass away. He could die. But after a while, less than 1 hour, the door of the fridge was open sesame. It's not because of any angels, not because any celestial beings, but it was a security guy who opened the door and greeted him. Why are you staying there so late? He was thanking that guy for saving his life. Thank you very much. Without you looking for me today, I would probably have died already. Why do you look for me? Why do you know that I still didn't go home? The security guy said to the manager that, for 35 years that I've been working in this company, you were the only one who gave me a smile every single day. So every day you just come to me and smile, give me a big smile. So today, everyone left already, but I still didn't receive the smile. So I wonder, you came in the morning, but you didn't actually leave. Where were you? Maybe you passed out somewhere in the toilet. Maybe you got locked somewhere, and I was right. You got locked in the big fridge. So this story gives us that it's not only resources that we give to people, that we give them some fruits or give some positive energy back to us, but it could be something simple as just a smile on our face. Maybe you're now considering that you smile to more people, right? Maybe you smile more to your neighbors. Maybe you smile more to your friends, to your colleagues. Maybe you smile more to your boss. And these days, people are missing these smiles a lot because a lot of people in the society, they are living individually together. So they don't share their time together. They don't share their moment together. They are neighbors, but they never talk to each other for years. And not only that, you don't receive positive energy from them, but sometimes you feel really awkward. You feel really negative energy from others. As a result, if you share to people more, that will become positive energy, which will return to you one day. So I like to mention that not only resources that we share with people, but we can share as well our smile. So 4 things, huh? Sharing resources. Second, sharing positive speech. And third, sharing help to others. And the 4th is to share our consistency. So I'm going to talk about the second one, sharing the speech. Well, not only resources that we share with others, we should also share some kind words for them as well. There is a story, I have so many stories today, of a rich lady. A rich lady. Maybe you can possibly guess what kind of story I'm going to share with you, right? Again, if you have any comments, I'm reading the comments. I'm reading, maybe you possibly have any questions. If you try to relate this into your day-to-day life, you may have situations with your friends, with your boss, and maybe you have questions for me as well. If you'd like to ask any questions, don't hesitate writing them down in the box, and eventually I'm going to answer your questions at the end of the story. Okay? So the second story that I like to share with you is the story of a young rich lady. Could be a guy as well. So I just didn't change the original story. She was so rich, she's so beautiful. And normally she would just look down to people around her, that she has more privilege, she has better opportunity, but she don't see others in her eyes. So usually she would just say to people, oh, you know, I have better opportunity, look at my clothes, this is very expensive, it's a brand name thing that I got from abroad, and look at my car, I have bigger car and that drives very fast. Look at the way I eat, and when she eats, she would just snap some photos from expensive restaurants and post on her Instagram. So, if this is some people very close to you, how would you feel? How would you feel? Well, you can share with me, huh? You feel great? That, well, I have some friends that are so gorgeous, that's so nice, so like celebrity. Do you think about her that way, or you have a little feeling that maybe if I have a chance not to get close to her, I will stay away from her? If you think about it that way, congratulations, you're not alone. Many people around the world possibly think the same way. No one of us like to get close to these people who are full of themselves, who didn't actually see other people in his or her eyes, right? So one day, that lady were in a situation that she struggled with her family. Her father's company got bankrupted, so eventually she got now become very poor. So she didn't have, again, the big house, the big cars. She was really in trouble. Even she cannot find food to eat sometimes. And in the winter, she didn't actually have enough clothes to warm herself. So one day, she went to ask for help. She went to ask for help from an old lady. She has some rice. The story comes from the Eastern philosophy. So this is not going to be bread, but rice. But of course, you can also change into bread and oven. But this is rice and rice cooker. And now you learn that when in the Eastern philosophy, which might be a little bit different than in your culture, we usually talk a lot about rice. It's a little bit different, right? But you can also learn the difference of different cultures as well. Please allow me to borrow your rice cooker. And the old lady, she said that, before you said that, my rice cooker is very dirty. Even your trash is cleaner than mine. So I actually want to borrow to you that all. But the old lady still allow her to borrow the rice cooker because now the young lady is really in trouble. One day, she also feel very, very cold. She was freezing in the middle of the cold winter. It's the coldest winter in 10 years. The lady, while she was freezing, she went to ask for warmer cloth from an elder, an old guy. Please allow me to borrow some warm cloth. I'm freezing. I cannot survive for sure. The old man said to her that, well, before you told me that my cloth is dirtier than any of yours mopping cloth. Mopping cloth? The cloth that cleaned the floor. The lady was embarrassed again. She felt really awkward. But the guy, who's still very nice, he offers the extra blanket to her. And she could keep herself warm. She feels very nice. And one thing that you receive from the old lady and the old guy is love. And eventually, she changed herself and she's more careful about her words. You can see here that whatever we speak will one day give some result. And that result may return to us in a good way or in a bad way. It depends on how we speak, right? And many people are fighting their own battles. Like the old lady, she is poor. The old guy, he didn't have a lot of money. He struggled. They struggle for economics. They struggle to live their life. But they are still very kind people. So instead of giving them some support, the rich lady gave them the words that they didn't want to listen to. And this is a good case that the old lady and the old man didn't take that. So they were kind, they were lovely, so they returned love instead of hate to the young lady. But this might not be the case in the real world, where if you keep saying something not very nice to others, they will not return any love for you as well, right? So even though we're fighting our own battle, maybe that's just an ego that we have in the mind, but we should also consider how other people are fighting their battles as well. And if we can give them some encouragement, they will feel warm, they will feel loved, they will feel that their fight becomes much easier. And that is when they're going to help us on our battles as well. So remember this. This is very simple thing that people don't share anymore these days, right? Especially on this day, it might not be just you have to make a call to other people, but maybe some encouragement on their Facebook, that you, when they do something great, you share some comments to them that, wow, whatever you're doing is great, and I admire you so much. And that makes them want to do better thing, even something better for themselves and people around them. But this is not going to be in the way that we don't say the truth, or we do it improperly. For example, I give you one story. It's a story of a lion. A big lion. His mouth smelled badly. Okay, he's going to, he heard from others that his mouth doesn't smell very nicely. So he want to make sure. He went to ask a rabbit how his mouth smells. Don't ask me how a lion can talk. You can ask Disney, Lion King maybe. The lion asked a rabbit, does my mouth smell? The rabbit say, yes, it stinks. It's worse than any garbage bin. The lion got pissed and ate the rabbit. The lion also went to ask a deer, does my mouth smell? The deer actually saw the incident that the lion was eating the rabbit. So the deer was lying to the lion. Well, I don't think your mouth smell. I think it smells pretty nice. It smells like perfume. So the lion got pissed because he knew that the deer was lying to him. He didn't like that. He ate the deer as well. So the lion went to ask the third person, a wolf. And the wolf usually observes everything, and the wolf is pretty smart. So he shared with the lion, you know what? My nose is running today. I got some cold, so I cannot verify whether your mouth is smelly or not. But if you keep brushing your teeth daily, you will be able to make your mouth clean, and your mouth doesn't smell anymore. Why don't you try brushing your teeth? But I cannot tell you today because my nose is not very good. Maybe you don't expect from me, because many other animals, they have better nose than mine. So, according to this story, saying the truth, sometimes you actually have to be careful as well. Even though you want to encourage people, but that is going to be dangerous in different circumstances. So we have to be very mindful, but not only mindful. We have to be very artful in using our speech, because our speech could become a very dangerous weapon that returns to destroy us as well if you don't do it properly. Again, we can give people encouragement. We say something nice to them so they find their own battle better. But we have to also make sure that it's not going to be aligned and it gives us back positive consequences as well. And that's the second thing. And the third story that I'd like to share with you. Again, we have four tips, right? First, share resources. Second, we share speech. And third, we share our help. We are very helpful for others. And the last thing is we are going to share and try to be consistent to others. So now we are on the third one. We are sharing our help to each other. When someone is in trouble, think about yourself. If you are in trouble and you can't really solve your problems, what do you expect? You probably expect someone to help you, right? Every one of us is the same. So we try to struggle, we try to fight with our own problems first. But if it doesn't work, we always look for anyone to help us. So if anyone is in trouble and you help them when they need it the most, that help will become a precious memory in their mind. And no matter how many conflicts that you have had together before, that conflicts may disappear. So helping is very important. And I'd like to share with you some story, one last story for today, of a king. A king is very helpful. He helped others the whole time. But one day he started to feel that people in his city, they don't help each other anymore. They try to take advantage of each other. Maybe because that it's about economic crisis, the problems they're facing. So they actually keep talking to each other that now their life is in misery. But the king, he lived in the big castle. He doesn't know what is that misery, what that misery is. He doesn't know anything about misery. His life is always comfortable and nice. So he asked people, the governor, you know, people are talking about now there's something called misery, but I like to know what that misery is about. The governor have also pretty luxurious, comfortable lives as well. He doesn't know how misery look like. So he needed to find the answer, otherwise he probably get punished by the king. He went to ask for the answer from a hermit. And a hermit shared. The hermit actually didn't say how misery looked like, but he cut a bamboo tree and just get a part of the bamboo tree. You know, it's something pretty long like that. And he went to the back of his house, his residence, and split his saliva into the bamboo. And then he take the bamboo back and give to the governor. This is misery. But don't even take it out, otherwise you can't catch it anymore. Now, since the governor thought that he caught the misery already, he took that bamboo to the king. The king didn't want to take a look by himself. He didn't want to open, so he asked everyone in the castle to describe how misery looked like for him. Everyone didn't want their life to be in misery. They didn't want to take that misery out because they were afraid that if it got out, maybe they cannot catch it back again. So they try to open a little bit of the bamboo just to take a look, and everything is so dark because the bamboo is pretty long. So everyone was saying something like, okay, maybe Miss Lee looks like a frog, maybe Miss Lee looks like a worm. But everyone thought that Miss Lee was just kind of animal, but maybe it stayed quietly. Some people said, oh, Miss Lee looks like snake. So they keep fighting each other because what they were saying is conflicting with each other's. And eventually the whole castle became big mystery because everyone was trying to fight for their right to the answer. Miss Lee looked like this. And the king started to notice that things are getting worse, and eventually the whole castle or the whole city, the whole kingdom will turn into mystery. Eventually the king said, okay, I take a look, and try to look into the bamboo, and found that, and when he cut the bamboo, found that this is just a split of saliva of the hermit. And then he asked, eventually he invited the hermit, and the hermit said, just my saliva. What do we learn from this? We learned that if we never help each other, eventually no positive energy is going to circulate in the environment, in the society, in our family, in our colleagues, in our company. As a result, helping each other make more positive energy, and that positive energy is going to return back to us. And the last thing that I like to mention today is we also have to be consistent. Without consistency, if one day you are so good, the other days you are not so much, people will be afraid of you. They don't actually know how to react to you, right? They don't actually know that today, if you are very consistently bad or consistently good, then people know how to react to you for sure. But if one day you are good, the other day you are not, they don't feel secure. They don't feel that they could expect something from you. You are not behaving the same. And that is how relationship cannot get improved. Okay? I don't say that you should be bad consistently. But why don't we try to be good consistently? Isn't that going to be better? I hope so, right? So from these 4 things, giving resources, giving nice speech, giving help, and giving consistency and security, this is going to change the direction of looking. Normally we look at others, but instead of expecting things from others, we share with them first. So it's going to be inside out. We need to do something to ourselves so that we can share something valuable like resources, our speech, our help, and our security to others. If we don't change ourselves, how do we have those things to share with others? We don't have those things to share with others, right? So the direction of searching is not that we want anything from other people, but we now try to look for resources, we look for our help, we look for our positive speech, and we look for our consistency to share with others. So we are changing ourselves before we try to change others. We try to get, okay, give me love, give me more resources, give me encouragement. We don't expect that, but we begin with ourselves and we share with them. And that is going to make us first benefit, happier, right? Because we don't actually expect what other people are not willing to give to us. That makes us unhappy. But if we try to change ourselves, we look, oh, I never said anything positively to anyone before. I don't know how to say or how to praise others. And you will think first, praising comes from a pure mind, come from the mind that really congratulates other people upon their success, come from the mind that is very artful in using proper words at proper times to proper people in a proper space and occasions. That is going to improve a lot the quality of our mind. And that's how this sharing will improve our relationship with others, and also will improve our own mental quality and our meditations as well. So before we finish today, I would like to guide very short session for you. Okay, so I'm going to guide you a short session. I hope that the story I share with you is going to be helpful, especially if you face situations when you don't actually understand why people behave to you this way or that way. Okay, so let's have a short meditation together. Just put a little smile on your face, and this is how we relax the facial muscles. And I ask you to close your eyelids very softly and gently. We're going to purify our mind, but I'd like you to relax all the muscles in your body. Relax the muscles on the top of your head, down to your toes. The muscles on your face, your cheek, your chin. Feel relaxed from your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, down to your fingertips. Relax the muscles of your chest, your stomach, your hips, down to your feet and the tips of your toes, till you feel completely relaxed in every part of your body. And once you are feeling more relaxed, I would like you to take a deep breath and follow your breath all the way to the deepest end. If you adjust your breathing and you breathe softer, slower, and more comfortable, you can feel very soft and gentle attention of the breath arriving and touching an empty space inside your body. Softly, gently, again and again. I would like you to observe when the soft and gentle breathing is arriving, that empty space in your stomach. Softly, gently, comfortably, and if you do it properly, the feeling is like a bird's feather floating down from the sky and eventually touch a calm surface of water. Let us observe our breath and feel the breath going very deep to the turning point, as if we could touch that turning point somewhere in the middle of our stomach, very softly, gently, again and again. And we maintain the feeling as soft, as gentle, as long as we can. And even though the mind got distracted, you can easily bring the mind back. And keep the mind inside the body. Until we can mainly feel warm and peaceful sensation at the center. That is when the mind is purified. That is when the mind is willing to share, to give, to become positive. And we are willing to share our love, our peace energy to everyone, have come to an end of our meditation. I would like you to take a deep breath in and out a few times. Breathe in and out, long, softly, slowly. And once you feel that you are ready, you may softly, slowly open your eyes. Softly, slowly open your eyes. So I hope that you had a good sessions. Do you have any comments, any questions you may ask at the moment? Okay. So I'm taking a look of any possible comment that you may have. The meditation was pretty peaceful, right? And if you meditate very often, you also have a feeling like you be sharing those things which are resources, which are encouragement, being helpful, your help and consistency will become more natural. Why? Because one thing that emerge in the mind is a feeling of happiness. You feel more happy with yourself, and you actually don't need anything from anyone else to make you happy. And if you meditate a lot, it's just like you're happy every day. You don't actually need anyone to make you feel happy. You don't actually need anything to be happy. You can encourage yourself, so you can encourage others. You don't need anything to make you happy. You can also share happiness with others. You feel like problems in the world, they're not going to be a very big deal, so you can offer help to others. And meditation helps the mind to stay in the middle, stable and balanced. That is when we are more consistent with our life. So I showed to you how meditation is also related to those four things I talk about, which are sharing resources, sharing encouragement, sharing our help, and sharing our security and consistency with others. They are cornerstones for improving relationship. And this is going to, for sure, if you have any relationship that are poor, that are almost broken, that are getting worse, you can consider sharing first. Don't expect that people will give you what you want, but first think about it this way, that you should give what other people want to them first, and everything that you want will return to you for sure. It's not like we give because we expect something, but this is the law of attraction. What you sow, you will reap them later on. So I'm Monk John Paramaitanisaro. This is my first live session in this group, and I hope that you enjoy our life. You get something useful for your life, and I hope you enjoy today's meditation. We might have longer meditation in some of the live sessions, but for now, for today, it's going to be very short, but I think that's enough for you today, right? And if you have any suggestions of any questions that you'd like to take a look, or you'd like me to express and actually explain in the other upcoming sessions, you can also share by putting your comment in the box. And our staff will write to me and will share with me what you really like to know, and I can find information for you and some nice stories as well. So thank you very much. If you like this video, you can consider liking this video and sharing with people around you, or maybe who are having problems with relationships, who are fighting with their own battles as well. That might actually change how they look at the situation, and they begin fixing things by looking at themselves. So if there is no more comments or sessions, let's call it a day, and thank you very much for your patience, for your participation, and I'm looking forward to having the next time as well. You have any topics to suggest, don't hesitate, you can put them in the box. And don't forget to invite more people to watch the video, sharing with them. This is also one way of sharing as well. Huh? We share our knowledge, and we share our wisdoms, we share our forgiveness. Relationship is like fire. If we are too far away, we feel cold. But if we are too close to it, we feel hot, we feel burned. So we need to keep proper distance. And by learning to share, by learning to give, we know better what distance we need to maintain. Thank you, and looking forward to seeing you again next time. For now, have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and goodbye. Hello, my name is Phra Paramait Nisaro. I'm a Theravada Buddhist monk, but it doesn't mean that I was a monk ever since the first day that I was born to the world. Before that, I was like every one of you watching this video. So, I studied computer. I was a computer geek. I really like computer, hardware, software. I really learned how to do programming. I studied computer for 10 years. In my bachelor,